Hi, this is Tom Flynn with Bullseye Locations. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about managing store closings and store hours. Since the coronavirus, we've had a few clients come to us asking about how to manage the store closings, and I'd like to talk about a couple of ways to make this management easy for you. Right now, I'm logged in to a Bullseye account. I'm on the dashboard. So the first way to manage these store closings is to simply deactivate locations. So deactivation is particularly useful if you're a client that doesn't have a very elaborate locator and you're not using store hours at all. So this is a quick way to get this done. If I go to Manage Locations on the left-hand side here, and then do a search for Home Depot, I'll get some search results back. So I'm searching for a location and I'm going to edit one. So the one I want to edit is right here in Bridgewater. I'm going to select this. And to deactivate, all I need to do is go to this More button here, this gray button at the top. I'm going to select this and then simply select Deactivate. You don't even need to save it. Just hit Deactivate once. And then that location is marked as deactivated and will not show up in the search results at all. Again, this is useful for clients that are not using store hours at all. It's a very quick way to come in and take care of it. When you're ready to reactivate the location, just log in again and then select More and then the Activate option right here. And then that location will be active once again. So that's how you manage that. If you're just doing them one at a time. If you have multiple locations to take care of and you want to deactivate those, you can use our CSV file upload. So here's a sample here. This is the location we were just looking at, Home Depot in Bridgewater. So you can simply type in yes if it's active, or type in no if it's not active, and then re-upload this file. A couple of pointers here I'd like to show you. It's usually a good idea to remove the lat and longitude fields if you're going to upload. So I'm going to delete these. What this does is it prevents the coordinates from being cached. So if you re-upload the locations and have those coordinates, it's going to cache those coordinates and make it more difficult to edit them later on if need be. Not a big deal if you do it. We can always help you with that if you do upload those, but it's a little bit easier if you do keep those out of there for now. So that's how you mark this CSV file. In terms of actually doing the upload, you would just come into the Bullseye admin right here, go to Manage Locations, and then Import, and then go to this Import button right here. And you can use the Bullseye template option, and you would select the Update and Insert option here. So what Update and Insert does is it allows you to edit the locations instead of deleting them and replacing all of them, which is better from a reporting perspective because you're able to keep the stats in the reports by using Update and Insert. So you would basically select the file from your desktop or wherever you're keeping it, select it, and then use Update and Insert, and then that would upload the locations. Also, make sure that when you do this upload that you have the location IDs from Bullseye, so that will allow those edits to take place on locations. So you get those location IDs by downloading the locations from Bullseye. Now you can also just upload the locations that are going to be edited, or you can upload the entire file, and as long as you're using that Update and Insert option. So that's how you deactivate locations. One other thing I'd like to mention, if you are using the automated updates that we have, you might be using XML, for instance, to have automated updates. You would do the same thing to deactivate. You would basically use the active tag and then select false for the active tag in your XML. So that's very easy to manage. Now, the second way that you might take care of the store closings is by modifying the store hours. So we'll check that out first from the perspective of doing it from the admin one at a time. So if I go to Manage Locations once again, I'm going to search for the same location we were just looking for. So type in Home Depot. Oops, sorry about that. We'll type in Home Depot and do a search, and we'll find the location we want to modify, and then go down to store hours. Now, we've tried to make this as easy as possible to close store hours. So this location is currently open on most days from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Now, to mark a location as closed for all days, all you need to do is mark the store hours as the same open and close time for Monday. So we have this already for Monday here. So you can see I've chosen 8 a.m. and 8 a.m. and I can select the checkbox here to change that. Now you can use any time except for 12 a.m. If you were to mark this as 12 a.m. and 12 a.m. open and close, what that is going to do is mark it as open for 24 hours. So keep that in the back of your mind. If you do have locations that have hours that need to be changed and you want to mark it as open 24 hours, you can do that by marking as 12 a.m., 12 a.m. for whichever days you need to manage that for. So getting back to the store closing, the easiest way to do this is to simply mark 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., 9 a.m., whatever you choose for Monday, and then to delete the other store hours for the other days. So I'm going to take care of that right here. I'm clicking on this edit button here. So if you hover over here, you see that it becomes a pencil. Select the pencil and then mark the trash can. And that's going to get rid of the hours for that day. So let's do this for one last day here. And then that will change that. You can go select Save at the top. And this location is going to be marked as closed for all days. Now let's take a look at what this will look like in the front end here. So I'm going to do a search and get the search results back. And you see the Home Depot is closed. So it's very easy to see that. I can hover over it and see that every single day it's closed. So I've done that without manually typing it in for every single day. You just need to mark that as Monday. Very easy to do. Let's take a look at how you would manage this in the let's take a look at managing multiple locations at once in the admin. So if I want to mark many locations as closed, it's easy to do this directly from the Bullseye admin. So if I go to Manage Locations, let's say I want to close all the Home Depot locations. So I'm going to type in Home Depot, do a search, and I get 7 locations back. So to mark all of these locations as closed, I'm going to select all of them. So this little checkbox here is going to select all of them. You can also select a few of them. If only some of them apply, you can do that. Let's go back to, actually, let's take a look at a different one. We'll look at this Home Depot, the second one in Mobile, Alabama. I'm going to select this location. And all I need to do is mark this location as closed. And it's going to apply that change to all the locations I selected before. So I don't have a time zone selected yet for this one. So let's go down to, we can select Mountain Time. And then I'll go to Add Business Hours. And I'm going to select Monday, 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. Oops. Apply this to all 7 and then select Check. And I've modified the hours for all of those Home Depot locations in one swipe, basically. So we've tried to make this as easy to use as possible, doing multiple locations at once. Now you can also do the maintenance through the CSV file. So looking at this file once again, we'll take a look at how store hours are managed. So I'm going to go over to the store hours. And to do one location, you would just select 8 o'clock and 8 o'clock. This is in military time. You can also use 8 a.m. So if I do 8 a.m., it'll accept that. And then you can apply this to all of the locations that apply, basically. So we can go all the way down. However many locations you need to use, you can do that. And then you can do the upload as I did before using the update and insert option. Now, in terms of the 24-hour rule, you would be able to use military time. So you would, instead of using 12 a.m. like you do in the admin, you would type in 0:00 for both days, basically, both open and closed times, and do that as needed. So if it's just Tuesday, you would use 00 with the colon in military time, and that would select 24 hours being opened for that particular location. So it's very easy to use. In terms of how to manage this, if you're uploading an automated feed, you would use a 24-hour time format. So in your XML, you would simply put in 0:00:00, and we'll write that on this video so you can see how that works. So that's how you manage store closings in Bullseye. Again, it's a difficult time with the coronavirus. We want to make this as easy as possible. My name is Tom Flynn. I'm available for any help that you may need. If you do need help, you can send me an email. My email is tflynn@bullseyelocations.com. We'll show that on the screen. And stay safe. Thank you.